Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to Springfield for a fun girls trip for our in-person book club group. We are going to a couple of local bookstores, Barnes and Noble. We're going to grab some lunch. There's a lot of shenanigans to be had. I am filming this after we've got back, so I already know what is gonna happen in the next clips that you are going to see. We had so much fun. I found so many books, so stick around after the vlog portion to see all the books that I ended up getting. Before you get into this video, please make sure that you always like and subscribe. Check my description box below for all of those links that I have for my social media accounts, Go Books, and also my Patreon. I have a Patreon book club pick this month, which is really good. It's got the Kana by Rue Nix. I hope that you can join me over there. Let's be friends. Tell me what book to read, have exclusive content, and so much more. Always in the description box. And always remember, leave me comments below. I always love to hear your feedback for any of my videos. You like, didn't like, what I should prioritize, or even suggestions or recommendations on books that I should be on the lookout for. So with everything out of the way, I hope that you enjoy this video. I am not very good at vlogging. I haven't done it very much. I hope that I did a decent job and keep you entertained. Enjoy the video and then see the book haul afterwards. Alright guys, so we are 10 minutes away from all the girls joining me. We are meeting up in a Walmart parking lot and then going to my apartment complex to drop off some vehicles and then heading to Springfield. It is 8:20 right now. At 8:30 we are all going to be meeting up. So excited. I have my sweater on that says "In My Fantasy Romance Era" because of course. I can't wait to see this. I think our itinerary is we're going to go to 2 used bookstores and then we are going to get some lunch and then head to Barnes and Noble and then head home. I can't wait to see what books I get. Of course, I'll do a haul whenever I get home and show you all of the goodies that I got. But I can't wait for you to meet the girls and I can't wait for you to come along on this journey. This is a new type of vlog, so if you like it, please make sure to let me know so I can do more vlogs like this. So let's just go meet the girls and get on our way. we just got done at Pagination Bookshop.
Yay! Yay!
Pagination! On to the next place. Okay, we have decided to walk to our next place. It's a beautiful place. Everybody's here. Oh, she got her coffee. That is the best thing. I should have brought mine. But I'm gonna flip you around and we're just gonna go on a little journey. This place has cats and it's so amazing. Look at this. You guys, this place has cats.
Found my pick for this.
Is that what we're reading in April?
This is just what I'm gonna read. Okay, guys.
Dating
you guys
for
have already
dummies.
figured it out.
Oh, here's the kitty.
Oh, he does not want to be that. That one's
I,
crazy.
I just had the moment of, oh, it's a squirrel.
I've been married.
So Dawn found an indie bookstore roadmap. She's dealing with the cats at the moment, but I gotta have her show you. Dawn, come here. Dawn.
Yes, what?
She ain't listening. What's the roadmap you got?
Oh.
I'm so excited.
We got places
The
to go.
Midwest Indie Bookstore Roadmap. And it's gorgeous.
We have places to go now. This is so cute. This little area that we're in is like, I don't know, like an artsy thing. It's like old-timey, where you just walk and there's little stores you go into. It's so awesome. We're trying to figure out if we want to eat, go to Barnes & Noble, go somewhere else to eat. We're all indecisive, so that's what we're doing right now. decided to do some thrift shopping before we go home.
Yeah. Need some work clothes.
Heck yeah.
I got shorts.
She's like, I'm just getting loungewear. What are you talking about?
And I'm like, comfy shorts, yes.
So let me tell you a funny story while we're here. We were at Cheddar's, and they all decide to order, you know, like a beer or a wine. And the girl comes back, and Dawn just hands her her ID. She's like, didn't you just ask for it? And the girl's like, no. Yeah, she asked if we were ADHD, not if she could have our IDs.
So obviously, yeah, I've got ADHD.
Also, we were at Barnes & Noble, and I'm getting out of the car, and literally, I'm in Dawn's car, and I open up the window, or the door, and the wind just flies and hits the truck right next to us with the guy sitting in it. So there's that. Now back to shopping, I guess. All right, the vlog is coming to an end. Did we have fun?
Yes, great time.
It was fun.
Yay, next time.
Haunted house going next time, we've already said.
Oh, yeah.
Hey everyone, so we are back from Springfield with all of the fun shenanigans that we got up to. I hope that you enjoyed our day in the vlog format that I did. It was so much fun that I can't wait to do it again with everyone. But now it's time to go over the book haul and the books that we bought whenever we were there. Now, I will preface this. I didn't buy near as much at Barnes & Noble in Springfield. I don't know if it's Barnes & Noble in general. However, this store didn't have very many books that I was intrigued about, that I was going after. So I didn't really buy too much there. When I got back home, I ended up going to our local Books A Million store, the one that I normally go to on an every week basis. And I ended up buying quite a few more there. They tend to have a lot more books that I am looking to read. They have a bigger selection of the type of books that I like to read. So I don't know if it's all the Barnes & Nobles in general, but Karina Halley, for instance. Who doesn't have Karina Halley in their store? So let's just go through all the books though. Had quite a good time with all of the girls. Absolutely loved it there. And we have already planned another adventure to come this summer. That will include our significant others. I will give you more details whenever we start solidifying those plans. So let's just start from the very first bookstore that we went to. The very first bookstore that we went to was so cute. It was in this old home in this beautiful part of town. It was called Pagination. Absolutely stunning. It didn't have a lot of books to choose from, but the atmosphere was tremendous. There was this little hobbit hole that I will insert the picture here. How we all went into this hobbit hole and took a picture of our time there. It was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. I did pick up a book there because I wanted to pick up at least one book from each store that we went to. I ended up picking up Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and I have never read this book. I have heard so many people talk about it being their favorite book that they have ever, read classical wise. I can't wait to dive into it. It seems like it's a romantic suspense, and I am very intrigued. I was so happy to meet the lady that was working the bookstore. I don't know if she's the owner or just someone that was working there on the Saturday. She gave me this really cute bookmark. And you guys, I absolutely loved it there. It was so gorgeous. One of my friends picked up a mug. They had these cute t-shirts. I can't wait to go back just for the atmosphere and the vibes alone. The next store that we did go to was in this beautiful part of town as well. It was kind of a downtown artsy district. It had a lot of buildings that you would find in old antique places in America, as you would say. It had the whole rustic brick buildings and all of these stores that you could go into. There were so many art shops, tattoo shops, places to eat. It was such a delight to walk up and down the streets, and we went to this little hole-in-the-wall bookstore. It was called Bookmarks. Here is the tote that I took from there. And as you saw from the B-roll at the beginning of this video, they had 2 cats. I don't know if there was more, but we only saw 2 that were roaming around. They were so friendly. They wanted to be petted and stuff. As we were perusing, seeing what books that we wanted to pick up, and just soaking up those cozy vibes that bookstore provided. We were just loving on the cats and just having a good old time. So I ended up picking up 2 books from there as well. I did pick up the Vampire Academy graphic novel. I think this might be the first book. I'm not sure if it's a series or if it's just one of them, but I did end up picking this up. The graphics look pretty amazing. I can't wait to kind of dive into it and just submerge myself back into that story. The next book that I picked up was Dawn. It was her April book club pick because she found it at the first bookstore that we went to, and they only had 3 copies. So I let all the girls take them, and I just picked this up at the next bookstore. But she wants to read next month The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I have heard mixed feelings about it. I've heard so many people love it. So many people didn't quite like it. I really like Grady Hendrix's writing, so I feel like this is going to be a hit across all the boards. I'm going in very optimistic, and I can't wait to see what this book holds and see how I feel or compare it to other booktubers that I tend to like the same books of, and see where we compare on what we thought of this book. Finally, we decided that we wanted to eat, so we tried to go to Longhorn Steakhouse. They had about a 25-minute wait. We all weren't feeling that hungry at the moment, so we decided to just skip on over to Barnes & Noble, do our shopping at the last store, and go back. So this is what I got from that Barnes & Noble. Like I said, I don't know if it's every Barnes & Noble that is structured like this. I just didn't feel like they had very many books that I tend to read. Their fantasy section was very, very small. Even their romantasy or spicy romance section was almost non-existent. So I don't know if it was just the town I was in. I'm gonna give another Barnes & Noble a try. But the first book that I ended up gravitating towards was just a classic, Dracula by Bram Stoker. This is a sprayed edge edition. It's leather bound. It's wonderful. It even has a ribbon bookmark. I think it was absolutely gorgeous. I had to own this copy of Dracula. If you know anything about me, I love the story of Dracula in all the forms that different authors have done throughout the decades. So I wanted to pick up just this original copy, maybe dive back into it. It's so beautiful. It even has some embossing on the back, and it says, "Listen to them, the children of the night, what music they make." So if anybody's a Dracula fan, definitely go hit up your local Barnes & Noble, or maybe even just their website if you don't have one close to you, because they have the special edition and it's absolutely stunning in person. I did peruse the manga graphic novel section. The manga section was just so extensive, and I didn't want to spend an hour in there or hold everyone up from eating lunch. So I just kind of zipped on over to the graphic novel section, and they did have Saga Volume 3. I'm so happy. I don't know if anybody anywhere else has this issue, but trying to find volumes of Saga is like trying to find a unicorn in the wild. So as soon as I saw that they had 3, they didn't have any others, I picked it up. I was like, I need to have it because I need to continue on with this series. Okay, so now the normal books that I purchased, I did pick up Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tooley. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I have seen so many people talk about this series. I've seen it everywhere. I know that book 2 is already out, but I only wanted to pick up book 1, see how I liked it, and then I can always pick up the second book later on. So as soon as I saw this at Barnes & Noble, I was like, let's just go ahead and get it. I need to read it anyway because I'm so intrigued by this. I know that it is a romantasy. I think there are also some trials and testing that our girl goes through. I can't wait to try it and see my thoughts on it. I don't know when I'm going to get to any of these books. I'm going to be very honest with you. I have a full TBR cart and a couple bookshelves that have unread books on them, but I can't wait to try this one out. And then I kind of went a little out of my comfort zone. I have seen quite a few people that I follow here on YouTube talk about this book series and that it's like a dark academia vibe. I wanted to see what it was all about, and that is called If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I've seen so many people talk about this book. They like it, they love the dark academia feel. Then I've also heard on the other end of the spectrum, they didn't like it, or they compared it to the other book that's out. I think it's called The Secret History by Donna Tartt. That one seems to be a little bit bigger. I wanted to kind of dive in. I don't know if I like dark academia per se, so we're just going to try this, see how it goes. The next one that I picked up, they had 4 copies of this, and only 4 copies. They didn't have any more, and my cousin Amanda, who's also in our book group, she picked out this book for her April pick, so we all just went ahead and purchased a copy, and that is Butcher and Blackbird by Brynn Weaver. I've heard this is serial killers that try to like outdo each other, but it's a romance with them. I'm kind of intrigued. I've also heard that there is some funny moments in here. However funny you can make a serial killer romance be, I'm really intrigued. I am going in with a very open mind. Can't wait to try this out. I have heard a lot of good things about it though throughout all of the different social media platforms out there. So I have high hopes that this will be a hit and I will end up loving it. I then also picked up this book because I have again seen so many people talking about it. I wanted to try it out and I figured, well, it's here. Let's go ahead and just grab it. And that is called Pucking Around by Emily Rath. I know that this is a hockey romance. I don't know if it's super spicy. I don't know if it's dark. I don't know much about it. I just can't wait to get into it. And also I don't know if you can tell, but the words have like glitter or like a, shiny effect to them. So it kind of drew me in as well. I can't wait to try this one out either. It says the best-selling TikTok hockey romance. So, all right, TikTok, I'm hoping that you are going to give me some good recommendations here. The final book that I picked up there at Barnes & Noble is called Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry. I have heard so many people talk about this as well. They either love it or they hate it. I want to dive into it. I've never tried Devney Perry before. I want to see what her writing's about. Start the Eden series. If I end up liking it, then I know that there's, I think, 4 more books in this series, and I think the last one just came out. So it is a completed series. I don't have to worry about waiting too long to get to the next one if I do like it. I know that this is kind of like a mystery, romantic suspense maybe. I'm not quite sure, but I can't wait to try it out nonetheless. So then as we were on our way out of Barnes & Noble, we've already paid, we were about to head over to get some lunch, and I saw these beautiful books just sitting in their entryway, and I was like, you guys, I have to come back, I have to get that before we head home. So we went on over, and we ended up eating at Cheddar's and not Longhorn because of the wait, and then after that, we decided to head back on over. There was a little thrift store kind of by the Barnes & Noble, so I was like, I will meet you there, I gotta go pick up this book, and that is The Wizard of Oz, and I own so many copies of this. I will be taking off the plastic because it has all the stickers on it. But this cover is absolutely stunning. It even has little gold edges. It even has a little back on here. I needed to get this, and I know that my camera probably won't pick it up, but the red writing in here is like a shiny one where it looks like ruby red slippers. I was like, you guys, I have to go get this because it is my favorite story of all time. I wore out a VHS tape whenever I was younger watching this, so I had to get this stunning edition, and I noticed that it said buy one get one 50% off. So I ended up picking up another stunning edition of another story that is one of my favorites, and that is Aladdin and the Arabian Nights. This is such another stunning edition at Barnes & Noble. It even has gold edges, and the back even has a beautiful thing. And I had to get it because I'm not a Disney girl, but if I had to pick one of the Disney princesses that is my all-time favorite, it will of course be Jasmine. I absolutely love her. I love the whole story about Aladdin. So I wanted to own this beautiful copy as well since it was 50% off. So the reason why I didn't hold up the tote and holding all of the Barnes & Noble books, because my Barnes & Noble tote has other books in it that I took to Books A Million, and it's stuffed full. I spent the most at Books A Million throughout the whole day, and it's just because they have so many books that I personally love, ones that I gravitate towards. So I am going to try another Barnes & Noble, but I think at this moment, Books A Million has my heart. So the first book that I ended up picking up whenever I walked in was called The Curse of Saints by Kate Dramas. I don't know anything about this. It was in their section that they do for like the For You page and TikTok bestsellers, all of those things. And this was in there. I read the back of it. It deals with a girl who works as a guard, I think. Yeah, she's third in command. And apparently she has magic. It becomes awakened. She finds out some things that she didn't know about herself. So now she is forced to work with someone that she is very reluctant to work with. I think it might be a romance. Don't quote me on it. But I can't wait to read this book. The next one I picked up is just a small little book that the author is coming out with, and that is called Mountains Made of Glass. It's a fairy tale retelling, and it's by Scarlett St. Clair. And I think I have heard that there's going to be multiple books in this series, and it's not very long. It's only like less than 200 pages. I can't wait to read it. I don't normally like short books in like the novella type form, but I definitely want to give this a try. I like Scarlett St. Clair's writing style and the way that she portrays characters, and I'm wondering if it's going to pack a punch in less than 200 pages. I then decided to pick up a book that I have watched another booktuber rave about recently, and that is called When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I also have not read anything by Sarah A. Parker. I think she writes To Bleed a Crystal Bloom, possibly. I could be wrong. That could be a total misstatement. But I wanted to try this because it sounds so good, and I love the artwork on here of like the dragons and everything like that. It's such a beautiful book. I am one of those people. I hear a lot of people talk about a book that they love, or even just a couple people, and the cover is beautiful. I instantly go and buy it. I am a cover buy girly. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm hoping in this case it works out. I then ended up picking up the other two books in this trilogy. I have the first book on my shelf, and I saw them there. I said, you know what? Let's just go ahead and finish the trilogy. I haven't even read the first book, but let's finish the trilogy. It makes perfect sense. But that is Hades and Heaven by Alexandra Adornetto. I'm pretty sure I am butchering that name. The first book in this series is called Halo, and I do already own that. And since I saw them, I know that I've never seen both of them available whenever I've went into Books A Million. I think I've always seen Heaven, but not Hades, which is book 2. So I saw them both together, and I said, you know what? Today's the day. I'm ripping the Band-Aid off. I'm going to get it. I'm either going to regret that decision or I'm going to love that decision. I don't know yet. I then went over to the manga graphic novel section. Of course I did, because I love my manga and I love my graphic novels. And I had gotten book 1 in this new manga series that I absolutely love. So I decided to just pick up the other 3 volumes, because it makes up 4 volumes in total, and that is Outbride. So I got book 2, book 3, and then book 4, which of course they're all in plastic, because whenever Books A Million, and I'm sure probably Barnes & Noble does it as well, if they have spicy content that is not for a younger audience, they do wrap it up so it's not easy for them to open up and see graphic scenes that they should not be seeing. So I ended up picking up volumes 2 through 4 since I already have volume 1. I don't know if there's any more volumes already out in this series, but I know that that's all the volumes that Books A Million had. So I just went ahead and picked them up. I know that I'm going to love it. If I like the first book in a manga, I will tend to love the entire series. So I have good feelings about this. And then remember whenever I said that it's so hard to find volumes of Saga out in the wild without purchasing them online? Well, Books A Million had quite a few copies. I already own books 1 through 3 in that series. There's 11 books total, and I found book 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I only need books 6 and 7, volume 6 and 7 in this series, and I have it complete. So I'm so excited for that. So we have volume 4, volume 5, and then we have volume 8, volume 9, volume 10, and then the newest one that just came out is volume 11. So I'm just going to track down volumes 6 and 7, maybe on Pango Books, because I do have some money over there from books that I have sold, and just go ahead and complete this whole series so I don't have to wait to get the next volume to continue on, because I'm desperate to get to this story. I then saw a sequel to a book series that I rave about all of the time, and I don't think that it's a continuation. I think that it is a standalone set in this world, but that is Dirty Lying Dragons by Sabrina Blackberry. This is book 2 in the Enchanted Fates series. I don't know when book 3 is going to be out, but I wanted to continue this, and I have seen it so many times every time I go into Books A Million, but I never can justify, how much is it? $28. I never can justify paying $28 for this book. But today I said, you know what? I have eyed this for months. I am going to go ahead and pick this up. So I did. The first book in that series is The Dirty Lying Fairies, which I have raved about that so many times on my channel. It is so good. If you like a fantasy romance with the fae, dealing with the different courts, but you want it in an urban setting, it's beautiful, and it is a standalone. I highly suggest going to pick it up. And then go to Dirty Lying Dragons and read it with me. The last book that I found, I was walking to the back of the store because I like to look at the bargain section before I leave. You never know what books you'll find in the bargain section for a really good price. And I saw this little table that had a sign that said special editions, and there wasn't a whole lot there, but I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and take a look. I've never read this book. I want to read it desperately. I've heard so many good things about it. But whenever I saw this stunning special edition with sprayed edges, I just snatched it up. And that is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is a unique cover. It does have red sprayed edges. I don't know if it has anything. Oh, it has some end papers that I did not even know about. And then, yeah, so it just has some end pages. It has a different look to the front of the book, and it has the red sprayed edges, but I wanted to pick this up. I've seen a few booktubers have this on their bookshelves, and I'm like, you know, that's a beautiful edition. I've never read it, but I wanted to read it so bad. Now I have every reason in the world to read it, so I'm so happy that I have this stunning special edition. The last book that I did pick up for the entire day was a book that I found in the bargain section, Like I said, sometimes you can get a hit or miss bargain section. Today it was a hit. It is a webtoon that is bound up. It's in a graphic novel format, and it's a series that I have been eyeing for a little while, but I couldn't beat, $6 of paying instead of a normal $20. Great way to go ahead and step into this world, and that is called True Beauty, and I can't even pronounce the name. It's Yaogi. You know what? I'm not going to try to pronounce it. But this graphic novel, webtoon bind up, I have been eyeing for a while because I've seen so many different volumes of it. I don't really know much about it. It just says that it is a comic that's a story about self-esteem, love, and learning to accept yourself for who you are. Once bullied for being perceived as ugly, young Jujing Lim, I'm butchering these names, I'm so sorry, uses online tutorials to transform into a beautiful, popular girl. Caught in a love triangle between a mystery man and a bad boy, she navigates high school and her personal life while her self-esteem, romantic life, and school life are constantly in flux. I can't wait to read this because I have always struggled my entire life about body image, my self-esteem, trying to look pretty or trying to fit in with the popular girls. And now that I'm older, I just know that I don't. I fit in with the nerdy girls, the introverts, the ones that want to just sit at home and read. And I've come to terms with that. I have struggled with body image quite a lot in my adult life, but I am getting better at that. I am becoming more healthy. I exercise 5 to 6 times a week. I also eat a lot healthier. So I feel good about myself, and that's what we need. So I can't wait to watch her journey into starting to love and appreciate herself. I kind of like stories like that because they resonate with me on such a personal level. That is all of the books that I bought today. I had so much fun with the girls, like I mentioned before. I can't wait to go on another trip with them. Of course, we talk in our group chat. We meet every month to go and have dinner and talk about the books that we read. We are constantly in contact with each other, so it's not like I'm not going to see them for a couple months. But what we are talking about planning, and I say talking about planning because it kind of just came up, but I don't know if everyone is fully invested in it. I sure am, and I know there is another girl that is as well. So whenever we do solidify the dates for that and we do solidify that we are going to do that, then I will let you guys know what the next vlog with my in-person book club group will be doing. But that won't be coming until probably this summer. So anyway, I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Enjoyed this vlog even though it's coming out on a Tuesday. Definitely leave me comments below about any suggestions of books that you think I should prioritize or books that maybe you think that I would like that I should look into. And I can't wait to hear all of your thoughts, get your feedback. So I hope you all have a great day. Bye!